This is Ellen Diaz and you're watching the E-volve show. Today we're gonna be talking about healing and money mindset. And for that reason, we have brought an empowerment coach and her name is Adeela Afiz. Adeela Afiz is a life and business coach and she will help you to show up in your life to create the health, wealth, and business you have always desired. Hi Adeela, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here today. We're super excited to have you here and I cannot wait for our conversation.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. And thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So let's start by telling the audience a little bit about yourself and what you do in your business.
Yeah, so I have been doing what I've been doing for over a decade now, but it started off with me being very interested in people and actually graduating as a chiropractor. And I was working in clinic and I was seeing all these clients and I was getting more and more interested in stress and emotional health and how emotional stress was creating a lot more of the physical issues than physical problems themselves. So I jumped into this field of like specializing in the mind-body connection and working with people to change their life based on their thoughts, beliefs, and changing stress causing or stress related issues. And then their body would change, their health would change, but also their life would change. And so over the years, I kind of went on this big journey of like completely shifting what I do, while I still love and use a lot of my background as a practitioner. I now work as a coach and facilitator, especially with women around the world to help them create a business and a life that they really love and clearing out energetic blocks as well as mindset blocks, so that they can really thrive in what they do.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Such a beautiful work and so needed as we see every week with different coaches. So how all of this happened to you? Like you say, like you suddenly start like having a different interest, but there was something internally for you that you were like, well, like this is not working for me. I'm gonna start doing this other thing because I feel more aligned. Like, did you? I guess you work on yourself before starting all of this.
100%, yeah. I sometimes look around now and I'm like, wow, it's like so much quicker, because also this online industry and the coaching and facilitation industry is just so much bigger and more well known now. But like 10 years ago, people would really be surprised about like, what is life coaching? What is energy work? What is mindset really? So it was a very interesting time to start getting into it. But yes, I definitely started by doing a lot of healing work and learning a lot of additional healing modalities, as well as like learning about the neuroscience and the physiology of beliefs in the body for myself. And I was using it in my healing practice first of all, and then the natural progression to how the more healed you are and the more empowered you are in your life, your relationship with money and your business will also improve. And that is how I got into business coaching as well, because then other people started asking me, how can I apply what you're teaching to my business?
Totally.
And I love what you said about being like very aligned and kind of that intuitive nudge to start changing directions, because my whole business, the main modalities that I now teach are what I created called body whispering and business whispering. And that is about listening to the whispers of your intuition and following that gut instinct. So you have a very authentic and aligned business, life, body experience here.
Everything is connected.
Yeah.
Totally. So when we're talking about healing, I feel like when we are in the industry, it's like very common to use these terms and we're very familiar. But for people who are not that familiar, like who does need healing? Like, how do I know if I need healing, or what is exactly to heal what?
Yeah, I love it. And I think that's such a great point because often we are surrounded by our peers or people in a similar industry. So often we even start talking to those people who already have an understanding, when really our clients or who we want to be speaking to are people who we need to better understand or explain what we mean. One of the definitions that I use of healing is bringing reconciliation or reconciling an area in your body, in your life, or in your mind where there is conflict. So when we have an area of conflict, that means that we are not in total ease with it. We don't have peace in that area. Often it's not working very well. So some people have it with a health issue and their struggle is healing their body. For other people is that they feel really unhappy, whether it's in their job or their career or in their life, and they are trying to find a way to find peace.
Mm-hmm.
And for other people, like a big one is often money and financial stress, or feeling like what they do is not fulfilling and or also not making them as much money as they would like. And so when I talk about healing, it's also about bringing peace and resolution to those areas in your life where you feel conflicted, you don't feel as a whole, you don't feel that you are fulfilled, you do not feel you are happy. And often when we go through life, we've experienced things as a child, as a baby, growing up, in our past experiences that have meant that we are carrying pain or carrying hurt, that then creates a compensation in our behavior that actually is stopping us from being able to show up whole and show up in a way that we can have our greatest life or our greatest experience here. So we want to go back and heal those experiences, whether it was the effect of our parents getting divorced, whether it was growing up in an environment that was abusive or traumatic, or whether it was things that you might not think were such a big deal and you might not realize are still affecting you, but they are.
Yeah, that's a beautiful definition, actually. I'm very clear. Like, it's just when you're not in ease and when you're not, like, something is not working right, or like in some, I mean, sometimes it's just one aspect of your life, but other times it's just everything. You feel like everything is like messy and nothing. So it's a good point. Like, okay, is that the moment to stop, think about it, and be like, okay, where do I have to work or heal things that maybe is the past or the present? So it's like a really good description of the process. So, what are some things that you see in your clients, like common things, like for example, for people who are like watching and they're like, okay, I don't know if I will benefit of working with Adil and do like coaching or something. Like, what are some things that you see that are common, especially in women, I guess?
I do a lot of work with people who are in this industry, so women who are practitioners, healers, and coaches themselves. And some of my favorite work is with them because they're often really amazing, talented, and giving people. And they are here to help change the world, like we all are. And yet, their personal beliefs, their mindset, and their ability to actually have the results that they would like in their business is not translating. Like they feel like they're doing everything, they're working so hard, they got the coaching qualification or the practitioner qualification, they learned a modality, they were really excited about helping people and changing the world, and now they're feeling very confused and disheartened because it's not going how they wanted it to or expected it to. And so I do a lot of work in this area, and it's why I talk about money a lot, because if these people, like if we, the people who care about the world and want to make the world a better place, if we are the people that can actually have money and have successful businesses, then in turn we can help make a greater impact in the world. And so I think it's important because sometimes there's just so many layers that people do not realize of subconscious blocks and conditioning in this particular group of people that want to help make the world a better place. So for me, I had to do a lot of work on my own money mindset to get to a point where I now have a very successful business and money isn't my issue. But when I started, that was very much the thing, because when you are like a healer or someone who really cares about people, often you don't prioritize money. And you can have some really bad habits with money. Your mindset is not necessarily healthy when it comes to money. You might be more interested in helping people, and therefore you don't have the boundaries in place and the right systems in place to make your business successful. So I work in two ways. I talk about bringing systems together with strategy and energy. So it's not just energetic work or mindset work, and it's not just strategy and money talk. It's how do we bring it together, and how do we clear the blocks that you have with your mindset? How do we find the limiting beliefs that you might not realize you have? And how do we put it together with systems that will help you actually start to make money in your business?
Yeah, that's so important because I feel like even if you're not a business person, like I feel we all, in some point, struggle with that concept of mindset about money, because I feel like, sometimes like it's what they have teach you, your parents at school, all our environment, or like where you grow up, like all of those things affects you so much in like the mindset about money. So I think it's so important the work that you guys do, like just to support people, to show them like, well, there is this limiting beliefs, like let's work on it, because sometimes we feel everything is good, we're just not making money or something, and we don't realize like there is so many people like you that can support us to be like, okay, let's move into this direction, let's look into things like how can we make your life better. So it's like all about the mindset, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I totally agree. Like, we do a lot of work in the first 10 years of your life. Like, what was going on and what messages or beliefs did you pick up as a baby, even while you were in your mum's tummy, like when you were first born, and you have no memory of it. But what was your family's environment? What is your mother's beliefs around money, your father's beliefs around money, and what has your environment contributed to you having a certain way of acting or thinking about money that you never realized you could actually change?
Yeah. So do you think like for the practice that you do and like related with money, it all comes also into the healing process? Like, is it possible that sometimes we're holding into something that we need to heal, that then it reflects into our money situation?
Yeah, I love that question. Yes, is the short answer. And the slightly longer answer is absolutely. And often it's related to feelings of or your beliefs around self-worth, who you are, how easily you can have things. So sometimes it's not just whether or not you deserve it, but how hard you have to work for it in order to receive it, and not being able to receive it easily or without feeling like you're working so hard. And then sometimes you will see patterns of sabotage with money if you do feel like it was too easy. And then other things are, like the feast or famine cycle. A lot of people have that where they will make lots of money and then they'll almost go into like a self-sabotage cycle of then not saving it or having something happen or spending it all. So then they go back to what they feel is their familiar frequency with money, which is being stressed about it or having to work really hard to get more of it. All of these things are associated with healing. And I see a lot of these patterns when people have experienced trauma in their life or abuse or have had childhoods or parents with money wounds or issues around money. And that's often passed on to children at a very young age without even realizing that your mum's relationship with money is now what you are mirroring as an adult.
Mm-hmm. So, what are some like tips, for example, for all the people who are watching today, like entrepreneurs, moms, women in general? What are some things that they can work on, like for like healing themselves in relation with money, for example, since that's like one of the subjects that you practice?
Yeah, I would love, first of all, I think awareness is a really big component. So if some of the things I've spoken about today are surprising to you or you never thought about it that way, the first step in healing is actually realizing, actually, I want to change this and it's possible for it to change.
Mm-hmm.
Because we go through our whole life thinking, this is just who I am and this is how it's going to be and I can't do anything about it. So part of becoming empowered is realizing that you can change the things you would like to change and you can have an active role in creating the type of life you would like to have. So if you're sitting there, I would love you to first just look at what parts of your life or your relationship with money are not working for you, or would you like to change, even if you don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second step is I talk about changing things at all levels. So positive thinking or just using affirmations doesn't always work because we can say something over and over, but if we do not believe it energetically and we do not heal even in our body in the places that we need to integrate that change,
Mm-hmm.
you will find that you're not getting those results. So I would love to encourage you to look at how can you find a practice or a way where you are actually creating a different thought pattern cognitively. So yes, that's using affirmations or reading and getting yourself more information. The second step is what kind of things can you do to shift your energy or heal your past? So there's lots of great self techniques or self-help techniques you can use, like tapping is one of them, journaling is another, doing healing meditations is another. And then lastly, if you can observe in your body, when you think about money, when you think about getting your next bill, what do you feel in your body? Yeah, because when I talk about physiological change, this is what I mean. We need to change our body's instant response when we think about money that makes our body believe money is not safe, there's never enough of it, and it's a very stressful thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about money or you open a bill and your shoulders like hunch up, you feel tightness in your chest or your tummy or your gut starts to churn.
Yeah.
First of all, observe that. And then I would encourage you to change your physiological state. That means in that moment, while you're thinking about money or when you open your bill, take a deep breath. Put your shoulders away from your ears. Open up through your chest because this is a stress posture. This is a safe posture. Nice deep breaths in with your diaphragm. Think about money again. Even if it's stressful in your mind, we want to start sending the message that your body is safe around money. That even though you have a big, scary bill to pay, you're okay and your life is not in danger. And now we can start to change how you react and respond to money so that it's not the scary thing that you just never know how to change your subconscious response to.
Totally. Well, that's a great tip. Like, I think we all can use some of that to just improve. And I feel like one of those things, like when you are not feeling about something, it kind of like grows, like it never changes. So I think one of the things that you just mentioned is like the affirmations and the reading about money. It's so important, and nowadays also with YouTube or things like that, I think it's just absorbing that information that we never had from our family or something like that. So it's like a different perspective.
Yeah, and there is like an entire education, like there is a wealth of knowledge on YouTube and the internet. We're almost so lucky that it's so easily available and it's free in a lot of the instances. I have a YouTube channel and I have lots of videos like that on YouTube. So yeah, go out and just, as you say, watching it or reading it, even if you don't believe it at first, if you just do a little bit each day, it starts to become your new normal.
Yeah, just being curious about something different that maybe you haven't heard before. So, do you
Yeah.
want to tell us what you have for the audience today?
Yes, well, just following on from that little exercise we've done and what we were talking about with money, every year I do a 5-day money challenge where I take people through 5 days of a different money mindset activity that we use to change our money beliefs at all levels. So one day it'll be a cognitive or a mental exercise, another day it's energetic, another day it's physical, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So I would love to invite everyone to subscribe or to sign up to the 5-day money challenge. We just finished one in March. So when you sign up, you're going to get all of the replays delivered straight to your inbox. So you don't have to wait for each day's exercise. So it's like a 30-minute exercise, 30 minutes a day for 5 days. You will be able to perceive and realize that you know things are changing with money. And if you join the Facebook group, you'll be able to see all of the results and people sharing their experiences about how money in their life has changed over these 5 days and then continues to after this challenge. So it's a fantastic way to like dip your toe into this mindset work around money. And it will also put you on my mailing list to receive information about the next time we do the live round, which will be later this year.
Awesome. That is so exciting. I'm all excited to sign in because I think like it's what you say, like even if you think you have a good mindset about money, always when you learn new things or somebody's giving a different perspective, sometimes it's like just a one thing, two things, or maybe the whole thing that is like mind blowing. It's like this is brilliant. So yeah, super excited. So Adeela, where do people contact you? Is it easy? Instagram, Facebook? How can people connect with you?
Yeah, so Dr. Adeela Afiz is my handle on both Instagram and Facebook, and there's lots of great content on both those platforms. If you'd like to go to www.dradeelaafiz.com, you'll see my website with all of my upcoming classes, including the free 5-day money challenge. And I'd love for you guys to just, as you say, get curious and just click on the links and see all of the different ways you can start to change your life.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. It's been such a pleasure.